Everyone, to a certain degree, has experienced some form of loss. For some, this may be a precious pet, a relative, or perhaps a once-loved companion. After this initial, often unanticipated experience, methods for managing the heartbreak that follows vary drastically from individual to individual. Some find positive outlooks and practices that help them to be able to come to terms with the loss. Others may find themselves spiraling into a headspace of regret and sadness, only amplifying the pain from the original tragedy. The bonds that humans innately carry for items, media, and others are powerful connections that can drive people to occasionally make rash, unpredictable, and illogical decisions. The memories that we retain from past relationships are often polarized to remember the good as great and the bad as terrible. I've on occasion found myself replaying a loop of memory in my mind, trying to grasp the lucid feeling it once held, only to eventually find the memory manifests itself as a source of pain rather than happiness as it once did. Using a cluttered mise-en-scene, high contrast lighting, and canted angle shots, the final scene in the Black Mirror episode, The Entire History of You, showcases how social media and technological obsession sustains loss, inhibits emotional development, and forces extreme methods for separation. The scene opens with our main character, Liam, dazed in a memory playback. Liam's eyes are hazy, almost appearing to have cataracts. This is the first glimpse the viewer gets of the idea that Liam is lost in a mist, a deep fog that clouds his inhibitions while restricting him to a state of paralysis. A technological cage has trapped Liam from being able to move past these memories that he has no choice but to obsess over. As Liam exits this first memory, we see him in a high-angled camera shot. This is the first technique the director uses to visually demonstrate how insignificant, small, and meager this character feels. The actor is placed with his head on the wrong end of the bed, slightly hanging off, hinting at how Liam's world is upside down, ready to fall apart. The bed is as naked as the walls, and shadows infest the area surrounding our actor. This shot exhibits the bleak, upside-down, barren landscape Liam has been reduced to live in. Without his daughter and wife, there immediately seems to be no residue of color, or passion, or care. As Liam clicks to play another memory, we cut to an intensely contrasting shot. From Liam's point of view, we walk down a warm, sepia-toned hallway, echoing feelings of tranquility and relaxation. Birds chirp as a subtle, soothing melody reintroduces Liam's lost love, Fee, who appears to be the center and cause of the abundance of warmth, as she is placed center frame in almost all of the memory redos. This shows us how Fee was once the center of every part of Liam's life. The memory ends abruptly, and the mise-en-scene of the kitchen is now substantially messier from the kempt, clean kitchen we just witnessed. This indicates how Liam's life has become a mess since losing Fee. The cluttered kitchen symbolizes Liam's inability to keep things constant. His life is thrown out of order without her in it. Liam resumes what we can assume to be the same memory, as Fee is dressed the same. She walks up very close to the camera, who is Liam, and looks directly into it. Her eyes are presented as an extreme close-up on the upper third of the screen, which is where our attention is naturally drawn. She looks at us with tender, affable eyes and pauses for a brief moment until we again see the memory fade from Liam's eyes. This shot stresses Liam's severe desire to be close with Fee again. She is so close to the camera that just over a third of her face fills the entire frame. As Liam blinks away the memory, just his right eye takes up over half the frame, with a super shallow depth of field creating a blurred background that fills the rest. Liam's eyes are presented here even closer to the camera than Fee's were, as if to say that Liam was much closer to Fee than she ever was to him. The music begins to decay and becomes almost a haunting tune as Liam treads into his disheveled living room. Alcohol is visible on the table, and the lamp that sits adjacent is unplugged, revisiting the idea that Liam's world has become disconnected from what it was. He starts a new memory that occurred in the room he stands in. The memory is again toned in a relaxing fashion, but is now night. In the memory, there are two chairs next to each other rather than just the one. The furniture has been straightened, and leading lines point to Fee, who is again the center of our frame. Fee lays on a dark couch in the dim room, while she herself is well lit, with an abundance of soft, warm light spilling over her. Fee smiles, though the shot and the actor's slightly uneasy emotion shows that she is becoming more withdrawn from us. A heavily canted frame watches Liam sit down in a tilted world, severely more unorganized than that of his memories. He is shot through a frame within a frame, which confines him to a meager, cage-like portion of the screen. Liam continues to sit in this tilted frame as he begins the third memory. We see the digital memory interface zoom into our next shot. The memory is presented in a very stable and aligned manner when compared to Liam's present. The memory starts as a long shot of Fee walking up the stairs, now further away than she has been in the previous memories. In this shot, Fee is partially obscured by either railings, stairs, or glass, re-emphasizing the separation held between her and Liam. The long shot cuts to a medium as Fee laughs and continues to walk away. The pain from her laughter is reflected in Liam's fogged eyes, and the memory ends. We then get an extreme close-up of a dark diode that Liam strokes behind his ear. This heavy emphasis that we get of the grain at the end of Liam's emotional reaction to the memory suggests that perhaps this little implant is the root of such inescapable agony. The sequence of shots that ensues is that of Liam standing in his bathroom. The first shot we can instantly tell is a memory because of the maintained warm white balance, and of course the presence of Fee. Liam wears a bright blue shirt, and Fee asks him an interesting question. Brown or green? Referring to two dresses, with the green looking much more detailed and eye-catching than the brown. Liam responds green. The shot cuts to Liam standing in the same position, only now more tense. He now stands in front of a dark background wearing the exact same shirt, only now in a muted gray color. I would argue that in Liam's current condition and state of mind, he would have responded brown, as this world is now neutral, bleak, and bland. Liam takes a short, shaky breath as he caresses the side of his head where the grain is implanted, almost as if it were Fee herself. He grabs a razor blade that sits on the sink and clenches his jaw as he makes a small incision over the grain, then drops the bloody razor into the sink. Drops of blood fall like tears and splatter onto the sink's clean bowl. Liam grabs pliers and digs at the grain in a series of close-ups and extreme close-ups that are mostly shot from a high angle, re-accentuating Liam's emotion of feeling small and insignificant. Rapid memories of Fee flash, and only then does Liam very quietly groan at the pain. Liam's process of physically digging out these memories is messy and bloody and gruesome. However, the only thing that is causing Liam pain at that moment is not being able to let go of his wife. Liam is finally able to get a hold of the grain device, and as he pulls it out, there is an audible sigh of relief. A dozen images flash of Fee in this past life of his, and this ends the scene. The only way for Liam to move past his dreary, lonesome, disordered frame of mind was to physically separate himself from any memory, tie, or connection he had with Fee. This scene visually shows the importance of being able to forget. As memories of the past fade, so do their accompanying feelings. Liam spent an abundance of time trying to rekindle old feelings, but as he progressed, his life became more and more twisted. The extreme serenity of memory made Liam's current world appear void of significance and color. The tragedy that befell Liam isn't an uncommon event in today's world. Anyone who has lost someone in some way knows how oppressive it can be to remain trapped in a replaying memory loop of that distressing event. This final scene in the entire history of You demonstrates our ability to release ourselves from the sometimes narrow cage known as memory. What we do in these moments of panic and shock either prevent us from moving forward or grants us the ability to cut ourselves free.